Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Husna Khairani, and I'm going to talk about what is discourse. So, according to G, language is not just about how we say things to share information. It also about how we take action, how we do something, and also how we represent ourselves, creating identity. For example, let's say the sentence "Hi, how are you?" The meaning change depends on who says it and in which situation are we in. If the one who says it is a stranger, it might be just a warm greeting. Yeah, like when you make eye contacts and just decided to be friendly, like "Hi, how are you? How you doing?" Or a long friend that you know, an old friend that you know. But the meaning might change if the one who says it's like just a stranger that pretends to be your friends. You maybe get confused and getting in an awkward situations. Another example is, let's say your friend, a doctor, they look at you and just say, "You look tired." If they say it as friends, it might be just a casual concern because that's what we do as friends. But if they say it as doctors, it might be a medical observation. So we need to be concerned of that. We're the one who need to be concerned. Yeah, that's how language yeah, it actually shape the way we understand something. And the next point is about language and practices. Also, G explains that the meaning of language doesn't only come from dictionaries, it also comes from practices or social activities. Yeah, which we as people take part in because we cannot, as a social being, ex- we cannot escape that. Escape that. So, for example, the game Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like the card game. We can know the meaning of the English words that written in it because we learn English because we know English, but we cannot actually understand what it is used or what the whole meaning in it if we don't understand how it works in the game. So the point is actually we need to understand the context of it, like with which one does it belong to, so we can get a deeper understanding. That's how language shape our understanding about that. So and social activities, everyday situation like school meeting, lecturers, uh, political debate, or even small talks. That's all social activities that shape our understanding. The third one is language and political. So G states that language is political, not because it talks about government or election, but because we use language to achieve, involve social goods. These are things like power, status, acceptance, respect, and something like that. So even though we don't mean it, we don't aim to do that unconsciously. When we are using language, we are, whether we realize it or not, we involve in something like receiving or giving the social goods. Yeah, we might be something. We might be pretend to be wise to earn respect, and also the other ways. If we want to make people lose their respect to us, we just say something bad. That's it. For example of language and political about this one is like the image about good students. It depends on the schools. Some schools might portray good students as those who obeys the teachers all the time and just do the assignment, but some other schools might get different ideas about good students. They appreciate those students who are creative and also brave enough to speak up. Yeah, that's We talk about value in here actually. The other one, the other example that we can take is like the relationship of gay people, the marriage to gay people. Yeah, nowadays, even nowadays, since like 2 decades, the issues about LGBTQ is a widespread and phenomenal because no, because we can now like accept them. Some people accept the LGBTQ because they say they like they understand them or the people are respectable. Maybe the one who says it is a politician that have good influence, so the netizen, the people like accept them because the gay people earn their respect. But let's just say if it is the opposite, if troublemaker comes out to be gay, people might, yeah, scold them even more, insult them even more. That's how political language is. Yeah, yeah. In some ways, language are political. That's it. The next one is about two forms of discourse analysis, descriptive and critical. This is also from G. So G explains that there are two forms of critical it of discourse analysis. The first one is descriptive, so it's just like how language works, and the second one is critical. It goes deeper, like how it is involved something like power, status, inequality, or even sometimes try to change something. Let's take a couple of sentences as example. The first one is hornworms sure vary a lot in how well they grow. It sounds casual and use everyday language. But the second one, it says like hornworms growth exhibits a significant amount of variation. It sounds like scientific and nobody would say it in everyday language. The first one is showing the identity of everyday people, like yeah, an ordinary person. But the second one showing the identity of like scientific expert, something like that. Yeah, it shows us that yeah, yeah, the way we say something really influence us in creating our identity. The critical analysis might question something like is the is the is this the researchers that say this only say this to avoid the consequences, the responsibility of the effect after the research. It goes to such question. But yeah, that's it. And for the last one we have socially discourse and socially situated identities. So it's a it it is from Paltridge. It talks about how discourse, like the way we speak, the way we act, it's not only created through words, but also the way we dress, the way we speak, to our body language, the values that we are showing, the attitudes that we are showing. So let's take the example of Princess Diana's famous panorama interviews. So the way she dressed, her clothing, her ways of speaking, and also her body language all help build her like kind and vulnerable image. While on the other ways, Prince Charles is made to seem like cold or distant people. Another example, like the rap singers. So we're not only judging them; their identities is not only created by through their lyrics, but also their style, their messages, their setting. Like maybe they're just performing on street in New York or a show in Cuba or even a club in Seoul. So it really helps them to create their identities. And also, Paltridge quotes from G's that identities, discourse identities is like dance. It's a combination of language, style, symbols and actions. So the way we represent ourselves, actually the way we dance in it. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.